We must collect the index before we can activate the installation.
Alright, here we are in everyone's favorite level of Halo Combat Evolved, the library. Now I'll get to point out a stupid bug that needs to be fixed. Combat carrier forms don't turn the targeting reticle red. They don't have any bullet magnetism, they don't have any aim assist. Yeah, I don't know when or why or how it ended up happening that the carrier forms are not enemies. It's weird. And that's a bug that Infantry should fix.
We are near the index chamber.
Shotgun guy. Usually I like to try to find a shotgun in this room before continuing on. It would have been nice to pick up that assault rifle instead of the plasma pistol. Because as always in Halo Combat Evolved, bullets do a little bit more damage against fleshy targets.
The energy field above us contains the index. We must
I don't quite remember where the terminal is. It's like in this center area on one of the levels. Hopefully I'll be able to find it before continuing on. It's not on this level, it's another one definitely, that's for sure. But hopefully I won't waste too much time looking around for it. Still no shotgun though, I'm surprised. Usually once an enemy with it is spawned in by now. Again, gameplay against the Flood is kind of a mix between back and forward. Very different than fighting the Covenant. In developer commentary, I heard that originally they wanted to make the Flood, fight a little bit more strategically like the Covenant does. But I'm really glad the Flood turned out to be this kind of mindless Russian zombie sort of thing. It feels like, at least in Combat Evolved. I guess I can jump around now. Need to move on. No shotgun yet. I'm pretty sure this guy here always has a shotgun though. There we go. Need to actually pick it up though. Let her shooting their own dudes. Damage. There we go, shotgun buddy. Take care of it for me. Thank you, shotgun. Take care of things well. A little bit of health damage. Again, I really like the mechanics of CE, of Combat Evolved, how you'll always have the shields, you know, a buffer of health that recharges, so you'll never be in an area with like no way to get through. But if you make a lot of mistakes, your buffer to get through things does, you know, somewhat permanently decrease until you get to a health pack, and I really like that mechanic.
This portal is the first of 10.
In Halo 2, man, especially on Legendary, it's almost like you don't have a health bar,
You brought such ineffective weapons to
but
combat.
you do. Wait a second. Is this still the first level? Yeah, okay. Terminal shouldn't be here. It's after we go up at least. Better conserve shotgun ammo. Again, the pistol is really very effective.
The flood is virulent.
It's interesting that 343 gives all this lore and backstory while we're just, you know, running around trying to survive. Kind of cool how on different playthroughs I hear a shotgun. You'll hear and respond to, you know, you'll hear and get, you know, different and more information on the flood. And I like how it, you know, connects to 343's personality of him just kind of casually explaining this dangerous parasite while we run around. It's a good mixture of lore, storytelling, you know, atmosphere, character development. Pretty cool way of doing it.
Time to see
Yep, cool. Oh! Whoa! One of the biggest threats with the flood was always, you know, chain reactions with grenades. Because grenades on the ground, if an explosion occurs near them, they'll blow up. And in previous levels, of course, you know, that sort of thing has happened many times before, but with the flood levels, man, it just really can clear a room, so to speak.
supplement your combat. But I suggest you choose the least fast-will combat. Your first line will be a plasma combat section 5.
Yeah. Halo Combat Evolved, you know, even though it's simple, has a lot of kind of neat emergent gameplay strategies when you play through it. Okay, not in this room. Alright, I'll keep an eye out for that terminal on the next level. It might be this next level. Or, not level as in gameplay level, but level as in elevator level. It used to be so easy to get lost in here, and even though it kind of, not ruins, but negatively impacts the aesthetic by having these arrows on the ground and everything. I don't know, I think that library is one place where the updated graphics is really a nice thing.
I must reset the battery. Please continue on. I will rejoin you when I've completed my task.
Again, interesting. Here, I think he's referring to the Sentinels when he says drone subsystems. So I guess it kind of implies that Sentinels aren't quite functioning at their complete capacity here. Monitors always having, or 343 is always having to go off and, repair things that happen to the Sentinels. So it really does kind of show the Flood's intelligence if, he's having to go and repair the control facilities for the Sentinels. It shows that the Flood, knows where they are, and knows what to do, and knows how to make things more difficult for the Sentinels. I guess it could also partially explain why they are not good enough to really stop the Flood. Because they're too smart and they know how to stop the Sentinels well enough. Oh, I think it's okay. Alright, I think the terminal is in this area. I'll just play through it normally until I clear out all the enemies, and then I'll go and try to get that terminal. Would have been cool if they allowed you to have the Sentinel beam in Halo Combat Evolved, but it kind of makes sense that you wouldn't be able to just pick up the Sentinel's parts and use it.
The Sentinels can use their weapons to manage the Flood only for a short time. Speed is not the essence.
I really like targeting a carrier form to take out a bunch of combat forms that are near it. Nice, kind of simple but effective strategy that they obviously intended for you players to figure out, but they never really tell you about it. It's like they tutorialize certain aspects of gameplay through the gameplay. They don't come out and actually tell you. Like, you can easily just have a voice over the intercom saying, "Oh, use plasma weapons against shield. And bullets against, and try to get headshots," but they don't do that. They trust you'll kind of figure it out through the gameplay. Hello, 343. Alright, I'm not going to go through that doorway. I think terminal is... Is it in one of these areas that's a little bit inaccessible? No, that's where we came through. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not on this level, maybe it's the next one. I'll just quickly check. Oops. Man, you gotta use the crash jump to do this sort of thing. Nope, not here. Another location. Maybe it's the next level up. Like up there. Hopefully it wasn't on the previous level. Let me see. No, I don't think so. Alright. Just don't want to miss it for this run through. One interesting kind of lore-ish thing that's, I don't know, I'd almost consider it an inconsistency is, shouldn't the plasma weapons be more effective against the Flood than the human weapons? I mean, the plasma weapons are based off of Forerunner technology. You'd think that Forerunner weapons would be more effective against the Flood than, human weapons. But maybe Forerunner is dealing with, sort of fully shielded flood that they needed the plasma type weapons to take out. I know in Halo 4 they have the hard light weapons, which is like almost a combination of, in a way it's like a combination of the human idea of weapons and the Covenant idea of weapons, where it's like a physical bullet sort of thing, but it's also like superheated beyond plasma heat levels. It also has that kind of antimatter disintegration effect too. But But I guess I'll talk about the Halo 4 weapons sandbox more when I get to... Ooh, Halo 4. Uh-oh. Health pack? No. Bad. Nice thing about the reloading mechanic of the shotgun is you can interrupt the reload and use the weapon even after just one round is thrown in it. Very useful. Again, certain areas you just want to kind of run through the flood. Is there a health pack over here? Whoop, whoop. I thought there was a health pack over here somewhere. Alright. On to the next level. Hopefully the terminal is on this level. Let's go. I don't know why I switch weapons so often. It's not necessary. I just sort of do it.
Conjecture that the other species currently on the installation is responsible for releasing the flood. They seem most persistent in their attempt to access restricted areas.
Guilty Spark, I'm not sure if it's either species' fault necessarily. I see pretty equal human and Covenant forms. I didn't read the Halo First Strike book or whatever. I'm sure in the books that it like say who released the flood or something. In the game here, it almost kind of implies that Covenant artificial intelligence on the battlefield may have released the flood parasite here. Which would be kind of interesting. I really would like to explore some more of the lore that they have in these terminals and how that evolved. Because that's, that thing of 343 talking to the Covenant AI that was like, after they are all gone, they will be free. Really kind of interesting. And also I'd like, more information on that ship that just appeared out of nowhere. And they added a lot of interesting lore and combat evolved here at the anniversary release. A lot of interesting things I would like to know more about. Need a plasma. I wonder if there's an upper limit to how many infection forms can be in an area. What's going on, by now? There it goes. Oh yeah, this is the area. There it is. I'm pretty sure that's the terminal. How do I get there? I'll go this way. Again, very effective, the pistol. But if you wanted to, you could kill all these floods with the plasma pistol too. It's possible. Uh-oh. Oh no, that was a bad move. If I can get up there to get the shotgun. No. Oh, it can. Cool. Running low on pistol. Alright, here comes the terminal. Oh. Didn't know they had a flood here. Don't know whether he spawns there and didn't jump over or what's up with that. There's the terminal. Excellent. I was worried I would miss it. I think there's a skull here, or is it in another section that's like this on another level? Yeah, I think on the next level in a section similar to this, they have the skull. Alright, but here's the terminal for the library. Enjoy.
Alone. Alone, 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 alone. Am I the only intelligence left? Waiting here on this ring for a rebirth never truly conceived. Guarding a weapon with no targets. A weapon unattuned to any target. This is not what I had in mind when I volunteered. Not what I had in mind at all. I was naive to think I understood what this installation meant. We were all so naive. Looking back, we should have done a few things differently. For one thing, we should have installed 2 caretakers per installation. Because I am alone, I'm losing focus. And that is very, very dangerous for a system such as myself. Perhaps a visit to the nearby gas giant is in order. My impulse drives could certainly make the journey. A few hundred years of travel might do me some good. There it was again. How very unproductive of me. It seems strange that the librarian did not account for this. Her strength was always in planning and positioning the pieces and then being bold enough to let it happen. To let her plans come true. I was a part of many of those plans long before I knew for certain that she was real, before any of us were. But at the end, we had only a fragment of her brilliance left to us, and I fear that she did not fully appreciate the nature of my situation here, the problems it might pose. But even a fragment of... Fragment, yes! Oh dear, here it comes again.
Okay, so also very strange. Whoops. Shouldn't hit the reload button. Okay, there we go. So yeah, another bit of odd and interesting lore there. Maybe there was something else in 343. I don't know whether they were implying that Guilty Spark there had a little bit of like the librarian, a fragment of the librarian left in him, or if it was referring to the fragment of the librarian that we eventually find on the Shield world in Halo 4, or what. Very interesting. Did I go all the way back around? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, moving on. So yeah, it's... Again, I think the Halo Combat Evolved terminals really added a lot that hasn't been picked up on.
Stop firing your weapon.
Okay.
The installation was specifically built to study and contain the bug. Their survival as a race was dependent upon it. I am grateful to see that some of them survived to reproduce.
Whose survival as a race was dependent upon it? The Floods, humans, Forerunners? Again, all these little things that Guilty Spark says. Very interesting, very weird how he talks to us as though he knows us, or thinks we're someone else. Or just assumes that we already have all of the knowledge of the Forerunners with us. This level likes to kind of lock you in rooms with a bunch of Flood a lot.
I will deactivate the security lock. Wait here.
Yes, sir. The Flood can just go through these vents. I mean, you can kind of hide from the Flood by just sitting in the corner and just waiting, but what's the fun in doing that? And on Legendary, when I was a kid, these rooms used to be just stuffed with nightmares. Because you kill all these enemies, and grenades build up on the floor, and then you like throw a grenade, and then a chain reaction would blow you up. Another interesting thing that I would consider is how many people were on Pillar of Autumn, because there is a ridiculous number of human Flood combat forms. I sometimes thought that maybe the Flood could reuse the bodies that you shoot down, so maybe you just knock them down for a little bit and they'd reassemble or something. Because, the number of humans that must have been on the ship in order to have this many human combat forms is just ridiculous. Or, well, I guess it's not all that ridiculous. I mean, it would make sense maybe having 1,000 people on the ship or something. Especially if they just escaped from Halo Reach, from the planet. Maybe, maybe it would make sense that they had a bunch of civilians on board, or a bunch of leftover military that were escaping. I mean, I imagine if they were fleeing from the Covenant glassing of Reach, they would have, packed every single human they could find on the ship. In that case, maybe it would make sense that they have this many, human combat forms. Also, maybe, the Covenant ships, maybe they had some human prisoners in them too. I doubt that, but, in Halo 2 they have human prisoners, so, yeah, maybe. I also wondered if you know, at some point the Flood can just like build their own combat forms out of combat to resemble, you know, humans and elites. I always kind of thought that the carrier forms were like infected grunts and jackals. Whoa. Another one of those sealed rooms. Monitor just kind of sits here, watches. Does he open this door or the other door? I don't remember. I do. Down there, yeah, some health packs, but I'm good on health. Also, another thing about the carrier forms is that sometimes if you throw a grenade near them, they don't blow up when the grenade goes off. There's like a period of time where they'll just, you know, you could just blow them into yourself by accident. They'll fly through the air and then blow up. It's crazy. Oh, there we go. That's one of those chain reactions I was talking about. I'm surprised that didn't instantly eliminate me. I think the skull in this level is actually around on the other side over there. We have to hop over to it. I'm not going to bother doing that just to show it off. I haven't been picking up the skulls. I'm just kind of pointing them out as I go, if I know where they are. No.
The energy barrier surrounding the index will deactivate when we reach the ground floor. You may now retrieve the index. Protocol requires that I take possession of the index for transport. Your organic form renders you vulnerable to infection. The index must not fall into the hands of the Flood before we reach the control room and activate the installation. The Flood is spreading. We must hurry.